The Cipher of the Ancients. Chapter 8. The Final Bounce. The sight of my office, with its doors still hanging off its hinges, was a grim welcome back to reality. Street lamps cast long, jagged shadows through the window, spotlighting the chaos like a noir film's final act. Papers were strewn across the floor, books knocked from their shelves, and furniture overturned, a stark reminder of our enemies' reach, their claws still lingering in the air. We stepped over the debris, the crunch of wood and paper underfoot echoing like gunfire in the silence, a testament to the violence that defined our lives. The room smelled of old ink, dust, and the lingering scent of magic, but now there was also the bite of cold night air, an intruder in our sanctuary, mocking our attempts at safety. Ella moved with grace among the wreckage, her presence a warm contrast to the cold neglect of the place, her silhouette cutting through the gloom like a beacon I couldn't quite reach. I made my way to the cabinet, my steps heavy, not just from the night's events, but from a deeper, more personal battle that gnawed at my gut. My hand shook slightly as I reached for a bottle of aged whiskey, the amber liquid inside promising a temporary escape from the weight of our reality. I poured 2 glasses, the sound of the whiskey hitting the glass like a soft, comforting melody in the chaos, a siren's call I couldn't ignore. Ella took her glass, our fingers brushing for a fleeting second, a touch that sent a jolt through me, speaking volumes we both pretended not to hear. We sat at my cluttered desk, the only piece of furniture still standing, our chairs facing each other like 2 boxers in the ring, an island of calm in the storm. I raised my glass, the liquid catching the dim light, and said, "To surviving another night," my voice rough with the whiskey I'd already consumed and the ache I carried. "To us," Ella replied, her voice a soft echo in the room, her eyes locking onto mine with an intensity that hinted at more than just survival. We drank, the burn of the whiskey a familiar comfort, my alcoholism always lurking, demanding to be fed, to be acknowledged with each burning sip. There was a moment, as we sat in the silence of the night, where the air between us thickened with something unspoken, a tension that could have been love or just the adrenaline of survival, a line I was too coward to cross. Her gaze lingered on me, a question in those dark eyes, but neither of us moved to answer it. The room felt smaller with just the 2 of us, the outside world with its dangers and its magic fading into a distant hum. The whiskey was doing its job, dulling the sharp edges of the night, but it couldn't dull the connection that pulsed between us, raw and uncharted. We talked softly about nothing and everything, the kind of talk that happens when you've danced with death and come back to breathe again. Her laugh was low, smoky, and it wrapped around me like a vice I didn't want to escape. "You ever think we'll get out of this mess, Elle?" she asked, her fingers tracing the rim of her glass. "Not alive," I muttered, half joking, half serious. "But maybe that's the point." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You're a real charmer, you know that?" I shrugged, the weight of her words settling in. "Charm's overrated. Survival's the only currency that matters." I pulled out the seeds from my pocket, letting them roll across the desk amidst the chaos of papers and broken glass. Their glow was faint but undeniable, casting a soft light that pulsed with life, a stark contrast to the decay around us. "Without these," I said, my voice low, "the apple is just a relic. He's got nothing but a shell." Her eyes widened, reflecting the seed's light, understanding dawning on her face like a sunrise I hadn't earned. Ella leaned closer, her scent more intoxicating than the whiskey, her gaze fixed on the seeds. "You kept the real power," she murmured, her voice a sultry mix of hunger and relief, and for a moment, I wondered if she was talking about more than just the seeds. The seeds lay scattered on the desk, their small, unassuming forms a silent testament to our triumph. They gleamed slightly in the soft light, each one a promise of growth and potential. Yet, despite their victory, they posed a looming, unanswered question about what to do next. Our conversation unfolded like a careful dance, filled with pauses and unspoken thoughts, as we navigated the minefield of our next move. "The seeds are too potent," Ella said, her voice soft, almost a whisper. "We can't let them fall into the wrong hands, or the wrong embrace." I nodded, the implication of her words resonating deep in my chest. They could lead to a dangerous entanglement if not handled with care. Perhaps they should be hidden away or buried, I suggested, my mind racing with the possibilities of what those seeds could unleash. Buried but not lost, Ella agreed, her eyes lowering, a shadow crossing her face. We owe it to Arcania to keep them safe. The decision was made. The seeds were too powerful to keep, too dangerous to leave unguarded. We left my office, the night air of Arcania cool against our skin, carrying with it the whispers of the city's dark secrets. Our destination was clear. The Grove of Shadows, where we had danced with death and magic just hours before, its ancient trees a silent witness to our struggle. As we approached, the grove seemed to welcome us back, its shadows deeper, its silence more profound, as if it had been waiting for this moment. We walked with purpose, the seeds in my pocket, their weight a constant reminder of the burden we carried. The ground here felt different, almost as if it recognized our intent, the earth itself pulsing with a quiet reverence. I started to dig, the soil soft and accepting, like it was eager to receive what we were about to offer. Ella stood beside me, her presence a comfort, a silent partner in this ritual. This feels right, she murmured, her voice blending with the rustle of leaves, as if the grove itself agreed, its ancient magic humming in approval. I placed the seeds into the earth, their light briefly illuminating the clearing, a silent farewell to their power. We covered them together, our hands brushing again, a touch that burned more than the whiskey ever could. As we stood back, watching the earth reclaim what we had given, there was a sense of finality, of closure. Yet, it was also an act of faith, trusting the grove, trusting the ancient magic that lay beneath Arcania to guard what we could not. We remained there for a moment, the grove feeling like a sanctuary now, not just a battlefield. The magic here was old, respectful of our gesture, perhaps even grateful for it. We had returned something to the earth, to the shadows, acknowledging the balance of power, the need for some secrets to remain just that, secrets. I needed to understand the look in Ella's eyes, a look that promised more than partnership, but something I wasn't sure I deserved. I needed a drink.